You're listening to the Be Forever Cool podcast. My name is Rex45. It's the Vroom Wednesday edition. We're gonna do it a little different tonight. We got some longtime people who have not been on the show coming back on the show, so we're gonna have a good old time. But first, let's bring in the guests one at a time. Let's start with Jordan. Welcome back, Jordan. Man, how things, man?
Oh, things are going good, man. Can't complain. Can't complain at all. I mean, if you can't complain, you're living life above ground. That's a good thing. God bless.
Right, but you get to listen or watch motorcycle racing. So it's not all bad. Even if all of the rest of the world is chaos, you got motorcycle racing to watch, and at least you get to smile some weekends.
Yes, and some weekends we can smile bigger than other weekends, but we'll get to that later on.
Oh, no doubt. But we're gonna keep the lineup going. This guy keeps tapping in and out. Smitty, what's good, man?
What's going on, man? Finally back online. Been a little hiatus. Been busy, just working, raising kids, racing, riding bikes, fixing stuff. That's it, man. So I'm back for a little bit.
Well, it's nice to have you back, and I'm pretty sure you found some time now that Marquez has won, and I know you got a lot to get off your chest. Probably more like I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. But
yeah, it's day one, but you ain't believe me, so it is what it is.
I still don't believe it. I'm in denial. We're gonna keep it moving. Bobby Shakes, welcome back as well. I mean, it's like, did y'all get got picked up by ice and it's just you got out? What's good, man?
Yeah, I mean, ice did a huge sweep, grabbed all of us, put us through the shifter, and I fell through one of the cracks. So now I'm back. It's been unbelievable.
Listen, we're going to hear more about it, man. So it's going to be a good show. Welcome back, fellas. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just gonna kind of throw it out there. We'll start with Jordan and get caught up. Let's kind of have you do a quick recap of the MotoGP season, the things that you might have wanted to say earlier if you were able to come on the show, because you definitely were checking out our post and commenting and stuff like that. So we kept the conversation going. But what are your thoughts on how the season panned out? And I see you got your Yamaha shirt on. So is that because of V4 or just Team Yamaha? These two guys.
Oh, it's actually definitely Yamaha. I'm not mad about the V4. I'm kind of mad we didn't go to the V4 earlier, but obviously they had to do some testing, they had to do some more testing, had to do some qualifications, had to go through FIM, had to get homologated, had to go through all the rigor rumors to making sure everything's, to spec, even though we're changing complete motorcycles in the next year and a half. It's kind of like, okay, but, we want to make sure that this bike is going to be top tier for the next 3 rounds. Needless to say above that, we all said it from USA, that Marquez is pretty much going to win the championship, which he did, and I would almost say spectacular form with 3 rounds left to go, or actually 2 rounds now that left to go. He clinched it up. Oh, we have 4, with the sprints
2,
and all
4,
that
1,
stuff. Yeah.
A lot of numbers. Don't matter.
We knew he was going to win. We knew a Ducati was going to win it regardless. So
yes,
the season is going off pretty well. Congratulations to all of the champions that are all through FIM, whether it's Moto America, MotoGP, Moto3. We're not going to do any spoilers right about now. If you haven't seen the season, I don't want to do any spoilers, but the season was really good, and it's still going off for Moto2. So we want to see who goes off for fourth, fifth, third, and second for MotoGP, and then we still got to crown a championship for Moto2. So we still got a lot of more racing to go through, as well as up and coming with WorldSBK. So I said, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving and shaking. Not too many seats that's going to be available for MotoGP, even for Moto2, which Moto3 riders are trying to move up into. So like I said, we got a lot to talk about, a lot of stuff to cover. But yeah, I have been watching all the races, even though I haven't been, behind the scenes, or actually on the scene. I've been
Right.
doing my thing behind the scene. So.
No doubt. But you've been staying cool, so that's the best part about it all. Smitty, man, let's get your recap. I mean, I know you've done some recaps on your channel on YouTube and stuff like that. So I know you're in the game. You like you mentioned, you've been at the track and racing and stuff like that, which is a beautiful thing. But what are your thoughts on the season itself? And I know Marquez obviously won, but what about the other manufacturers and riders and stuff like that?
So I have a couple of thoughts on the season, and not to rub it in, give you I told you so, but I'm saying one time, since week one, I told you so. However, it makes it for a weird experience. Yeah, like you go into the race weekend, you know who's going to win, so it becomes kind of non-exciting almost because it's like Marc Marquez, and then what's exciting is second through, after that. And I think now that he's hurt, sadly to say, it's gonna be a bit more exciting now because now you have no clue who's gonna win.
I'll say this: I disagree with that exciting part because you know who's gonna win. It was still exciting. It was still exciting, and I'll leave it there. But continue.
Well, okay. Tell you what, maybe non-exciting is the wrong word to use, but it was easy. It was easy to guess. Okay, Marquez, maybe Alex, then who else after that? Now, from this point on, the next couple races, it's a total dice roll. It could be Pecco, who has a great weekend in Japan, last race, and then a turbo weekend again this past weekend. It could be freaking Alex coming this time. It could be Bez. We have no clue at all who's going to win the next few races.
Can I do a I told you so that Mark is going to destroy the bike because the bike is starting to seem unrideable for some folks?
It's not unrideable, man. Y'all, people just can't ride, man.
Okay, all right. I mean, the same thing happened at Honda, so
it's not unrideable at all, man.
Okay, all right.
Because that last Honda now it was a bad bike because even Mark couldn't ride. Mark couldn't win. So the bike was bad itself.
Well, yeah, but the bike doesn't get bad in 1 year. Just keep that in mind.
Next time,
So, but we'll keep it moving. Let's get to Bobby Shakes. Shakes, welcome back, man. You are a non-really racer kind of guy, but you follow MotoGP and World Superbike, and you like the smell of gasoline, but you prefer something with apes going down the highway. Just the way you look.
Hey, listen, I'm only in True Blue tonight only because I went to the Ducati shop. I bought I got a 5X Ducati shirt. And when I looked at the conversion chart, a 5X in men in America is a woman's medium in Ducati language. So I had to get True Blue, something that could fit me. Sorry. So I look like I just came out of the paddock. I'm going to lie and say I did. I've been working on the V4 development while Jordan's been doing nothing. And just a quick little chemistry here. So this is a motorcycle, right? Nice and straight. You can see that. When you crash, you bend the motorcycle like so, right?
Yeah.
But now the motorcycle is no longer straight. It's bent, right? Every crash, something bends. This is just physics. So now the Ducati has become completely unrideable. The same thing that happened at Ducati with the same rider. Now, everybody wants to say, I told you so. But I'm the only man that said Ducati should have been 1 through 6. This has been the worst year for factory Ducati in the history of MotoGP. They should have been 1 through 6. I don't know where the hell they're finding.
The Ducati guys don't let you get it out.
Ducati coughed it up. I don't know where Bezzecchi came from. He shouldn't even be in the running. Bezzecchi is a stand-in for Aprilia. He's just a stand-in. He's only good for photo ops. He's actually not good for racing. And now he may take 3rd place. And I've been telling you all year that Bagnaia, Pecco, see you later. And look where we're at now. It should be 1 through 6 Ducati. We have the machine.
Oh,
And I also will say something that nobody. I listen to all you MotoGP clowns out there, and this is
okay.
the realest show on the internet. Talk about MotoGP. Everything that these panelists have said has come true, and I like to say the only bike that had the power for the Ducati has been KTM. You could go back to the first episode. You could go back to the pre-shows. You could watch behind the scenes. You could come join us on the Twitter group, the Twitch group, the Instagram group, all of the groups, and I've been saying that KTM has the power, and as the race is drawing near, and you can smell the buns. You got to smell the buns, right? You can finally smell the buns. Look where KTM is.
Okay, they're fifth in the championship, and Aprilia's fourth in the championship. And you're absolutely right. Ducati did not get 1 through 6, but the factory guys are 1 and 3, and one of the satellite guys is 2. So I mean, you got to look at VR46 and Aldeguer. Aldeguer is a rookie, so for him to even be 8th is pretty impressive. I mean, he did win this past weekend, which is also impressive. Second youngest guy to win a race since Marc Marquez. Being the youngest. So I mean that's what racing is, right? And I also said that at the beginning of the year that since we're talking about what we said, that riders are gonna try to beat. They're gonna step their game up, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing Bezzecchi do that from the beginning of the season to where he is now, because at the beginning of the season he was like Smitty say, if you're 15th, 14th or whatever, trying to get a new contract or get out of MotoGP, right. and Bez figured that out. You see Acosta, as much as he's crashing because he wants to win, he's figuring it out, but I think that's help of Vinales being able to help the KTM. So for fans of MotoGP, it's good to see other manufacturers in there, so it's not all Ducati 1 through 6. And trust me, I'm not going to complain about Ducati 1 through 6.
No, I have to disagree with you and Smitty. Nobody likes the underdog. You only like the underdog when you're betting. Everybody loves dynasties. Everybody loves when the Celtics win 100. Everybody loves when the Lakers win 100. Everybody loves Michael Jordan back-to-back, the triple back, the back-to-back, the triple back. Everybody loves Golden State. Everybody loves the Patriots. Nobody loves surprises.
Well, Shakes, I got
nobody.
Shakes, this is an individual sport like golf, like tennis. This is where one person says, "Hey, I'm tired of losing." It's not the whole team. You're not waiting for 4 other guys on a basketball team to show up and play, or 11 other guys on a football team to show up and play. And you just get sick of it, and you get up, you put your leathers on that morning, and you say, "I'm gonna find something today."
Nobody likes that.
This is what happened with motorcycle racing, Shakes.
Nobody likes a surprise. People want to see dominance. People want to see human beings go to the apex of their creativity. Nobody wants to see KTM win anything. Nobody wants to see Honda. We want to see Ducati 1 through 6. We want to see an
Take that shirt off. Take that shirt off.
I can't take it off. It's the only shirt I can fit in.
All right. Smitty, what do you want to add to that? Because I was waiting for you to chime in. I was like, I can't believe Smitty just sitting back letting Shakes say all this.
But you want to see Honda win? That's you. I don't care about Ducati and their fanboys like Rex and everybody else.
I'm not a fanboy. I'm one of them.
Okay. Yes, you do got a bike. So yes, you are one of them. But no, I mean, so I get what you're saying. People do like dominance, but people like dominance when their guy's dominating.
Right.
No one like the Patriots winning 6 rings except for the Patriot fans.
No.
I don't want to see that shit.
Secretly, it's good for the sport because the only reason why Floyd Mayweather, same sports, different sport, same topic, 150, right? Everybody tuned in to watch him lose. I'm coughing. I need to quit smoking. Everybody tuned in to watch Mayweather lose. Everybody tuned in to watch the Patriots lose. Every day, I see you, Smitty. I got a camera inside your house. When I went to visit you last weekend, I put a camera in your house, and you have a voodoo doll. And I'm watching you. You're watching MotoGP more intently now as the season is ending, and you're sticking the pins. You love the pain. You want to see it crash out. You want to see oil leak. You want to see Ducati fizzle out. But The hate that you have for dominance is the love that you have for dominance. Come on.
I'm gonna say that he's bringing it out. I'm gonna say everybody loves the dynasty when they're coming up, when they're at their peak or when they're at their top form. That's when the next rider, the next group, the next Clippers or the Miami Heat or something like that. That's when they're gonna be up and running, but be like, I'm gonna take them down. That's when you have the target on your back. So, I mean, maybe Ducati doesn't have a target on the back right now, but they've had their run. Honda's had their run. Yamaha's had their run. I'm not saying Ducati hasn't had their run.
They haven't had their run in MotoGP.
Well, I mean, they're at their peak right about now. And I mean, everybody's been following them for the past 5 years. So it's just the way it is.
This has been the worst race. This has been the worst season ever. I wanted to see complete dominance because all of y'all had your dominance. And you know what? I'm going to shut up because I'm going to cut my nose off to spite my face. The fact that the other two Ducatis are in the dumpster from the MotoGP God, and I've got the Pecco, and I got the Pecco killer, and I got the Marquez killer. Your team sucks, bro.
I mean, come to think of it, look at it like Marquez won in Japan. And where was Pecco? Pecco was dead last
No.
the whole weekend.
Pecco won Japan. And
Pecco won Japan, but the weekend after that.
Yeah, Indonesia.
Yeah, Indonesia. He was dead last the whole sprint race.
Oh, yep.
Warm up, the race, everything. He was dead last. I mean,
but they all struggled. Including Marquez. They all struggled. The only one that was Alex was probably the better of them. But they all struggled, and that's and I'm not and I think that's the thing. Like the issues with Ducati, is starting to show with other riders. It's only so long you can, it's only so long you could be Michael Jordan on a young Bulls team putting up 63. You can only do that for so long, and we can see it because all those guys struggled this past weekend.
But it's Marquez's fault, right?
But
no, it's Ducati's fault.
I don't think Ducati hasn't peaked yet, right? They've been trying, they've been there, but this was the year to set where we are undisputed champions. And now we're going to go to a different bike next season. It's like we're here. We gotta go 1 through 6.
Well, I agree with the one. I agree with the 1 through. I agree with the 1 through 6, but I think they'll be happy, with 1 through 8 and giving up 2 spots to some other riders. I mean, I still think that's really good for Ducati. And the 25 bike, I've already been on record saying is probably the worst bike since the 2020 bike, which the Stylite team didn't use in 21. They had a 19 bike in 21. And you see Alex Marquez doesn't want a 25 bike. I don't think any of these guys want a 25 bike for next year. So there's something there, and Marquez is he's one of the top 3 riders. You can say what order he's in with Rossi and Agostini, although Agostini got 15. So like Wilk, you gotta it is what it is.
He got 15 when there was no motorcycles and nobody watching.
Right.
Again, and not much padding in the leathers either.
Right.
So
but, I mean, you don't need padding on a 50cc superbike. Come on.
So you know what I mean? So he's able to do that. Like Quartararo was able to do that with Yamaha, but we see Quartararo now is like, how many times does he has to crash or get upset that he just can't, he doesn't have the power. So I think we saw that towards the latter end when Mark got hurt at Honda. Eventually it became unrideable for him. And like I said, we saw that, and maybe he was partied too much, and that's why he struggled at Indonesia because he won a championship the week before and had to do a lot of TV appearances and whatnot. So I won't throw Mark under the bus as far as saying it's not completely unrideable, but I think the Ducati, there's something there, and we see it more with Pecco. But the other guys, they've been up and down, and to say all that to say they're still in the top 8. So I mean, it is what it is. But Ducati got to figure that out.
Let me ask you a question. This is a serious question. It's kind of a rhetorical question, but I don't think Mark Marquez struggled this whole season. He threw the bike away. He threw the bike down. You could go back to our first 5 shows. He was saving that bike.
Still was in the middle of the season.
So
I mean, so I think this has been a very disappointing season for Ducati,
right.
Because
So,
Marquez should have won every race. So
did you see? I don't think you saw the Ducati campaign. They're showing a few different team members and engineers, but the point of it is like in one of the clips, it's just like we make it look easy, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so it's when you're more prepared than the rest of the paddock, doesn't mean it's easy. It just means you're more prepared.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. If I'm stroking that check, it's got to look easy, bud. It's got to look easy, and it's got to be easy. Because for me to come with those millions of dollars, Jordan, for me to give you millions of dollars, that's not easy, brother.
It's a heavy pen.
Yes, you were throwing that bike away in the beginning of the season. Right now, Marquez should have such a lead that he should get on the grid on a tricycle and race that. That's how far he should be ahead. He should have took the last. He should honestly be taking the last month off, because the 4 races that he dropped the bike and should have won.
He is taking the last month off.
No. It should have been complete dominance.
Yeah. Dominance. Again, I mean, it doesn't work like that, and it didn't happen like that. Some other riders won, and so, but it was close. I mean, he has the highest scored. He scored the highest points than any other rider in a season. He's broken a lot of records for sure. He is hurt right now because he got taken out by Bezzecchi in the last round, and I think something with his shoulder.
Got speared.
So,
he got speared.
He
got speared.
They had different lines, man.
No.
Lines.
He got speared.
Teammate? What's his teammate that's on April? What's his teammate?
Who, Martin?
Martin to spare him.
No. They were on different lines, and
he was on different lines. He came in hot. And rear wheel wasn't even off the ground. He speared him.
And well, he tried to keep it up himself, but nonetheless, Marquez had a long lap penalty in a sprint race because he punted somebody out the way. So let's you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why there's nothing, because like
don't mean to laugh.
Yeah, so it's Bezzecchi's not that kind of rider, right? And it's unfortunate because the Aprilia doesn't have a great start, and we're seeing him struggle with that as well. Maverick complained about it last year and stuff like that. Aleix complained about it, and we're seeing it. And if Morbidelli did something like that, I'd probably be like, all right, you know what I mean? But like Bez, it was a racing incident, and overzealous probably because. When you're pole position and you drop 5 positions or whatever, you
try to make it up in turn 1.
Yeah, you're trying. So, what are your thoughts, Smitty?
Kamikaze.
No, I mean, look, I think it was just like racing incident. You know what I'm saying? Got a little bit too hot. Like you said, did a little too much, but Bez, like you said, is not a dirty rider at all. And to add, to piggyback on what you just said, not saying Frankie's dirty. But Frankie is kind of like erratic. So had it been him, Frankie, that's probably his riding style. He's been penalized a lot before. But Bez, Bez is a clean, normal rider. So honest riding mistake, It sucks that it happened to get her, after you get the damn trophy in your hand, but
right. No, it definitely does. It definitely does. What are you guys' thoughts on what Honda is doing? They've been looking really good lately. And the points don't show it, but I think them and Honda probably got the best bikes on the grid.
They're slowly coming up. They're finally getting their stuff together. I don't know if they got a new mechanic or a new engineer, but they've been slowly progressing with grip. I remember a lot of times they was arguing a lot about with grip, and I believe it was not turning, but I think it was their corner exit, which they wasn't getting a lot of grip. They was getting, real good grip coming in, but coming out, it was just kind of just sliding too much for them. And now they finally figured it out. I don't know if it was an axle change or something maybe simple, maybe a degree or two, who knows? But I think they've actually found something to actually help them to solve that issue. And we'll see how the points end up right about now, because they're still 10th and sooner. So they still got some work to do, but hopefully, they can get it together and with some better finishes.
Nice. Shakes, I see you shaking your head, man. What are your thoughts? I know your team Ducati, so this might be tough, even though you got on a Yamaha gear. But Honda, Aprilia, what are you thinking?
The only thing Honda's done this year, if you take a satellite picture of Japan, they're lighting tires to increase global warming, which then gives us rain, and that's the only way Honda could win if it rains. That's the only engineering that they're doing over there. I've been consistent all season. They only could win in the rain. That's it. The bike has no power. We all know that. And if it didn't get the fluke winds in the rain, then there wouldn't be a problem. I think the real dark horse is not KTM, because we've been on this podcast, everybody said that KTM has the power. It's Aprilia. Nobody in their right mind thought this was going to happen. Nobody thought this in their right mind that this would happen.
And the dude and Bezzecchi, he's the only one outside of Alex that challenged Mark.
Well, I mean, challenge running the guy off the road.
That was the last round, but he did beat Mark. So
yeah, bad day.
I mean, bad day is what it is.
The sun was in his eyes. A lot of conspiracy going on with that win.
A win is a win, man. We can't. We're not gonna do that. The win is a win, no matter how you get it, because
whether in a wet or not.
Yes,
that's what she said.
Smitty, what are your thoughts, man, on Honda? You're a true Honda guy, Honda Red. What are your thoughts on how they're doing? Did you sit here and go, man, Mark should have stayed with Honda when he won the title and Mir was on the podium with him on a Honda?
No, look, Mark had to make a business decision, honestly, man. It's safe in his mind. His safety was at risk. I need a safer bike he don't got to push as hard to win. So he left. No hard feelings there at all. However, it's good seeing Honda making progress. A couple rounds ago, I forgot what round, but they got some chassis upgrades, things like that. And they've been doing good since then. They've been a consistent, top 5 bike in the past few rounds.
Right. So, are you happy with what Luca is doing? Because, I mean, these are guys you were mentioning,
I am shocked. Because I'm like, this guy's getting by on some, on Rossi's name almost, But
he seemed like it.
Nah, he's his own man. Honestly, he's doing great. So Luca, he was top. He was 5th place the past race, and that's not bad at all, And let's say
5th, crash, and 7th. So it's not bad.
Say it again.
5th, crash, and then 7th.
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. So.
Nice. All right, I'm looking forward. Let's talk about KTM. I know like Shake says, they got the power. They seem to be kind of somewhat a little bit all over the place. I mean, look, Acosta wants to win. I'm pretty sure it burns him that Aldeguer won a race before he did.
And he's pissed.
So I can't imagine that he's flipping over tables after that, and it's tough because we see it in the NBA where. People want to win and they start looking at other teams and moving around and stuff like that. So, I know these riders, they give 100% until, they're out of that contract or whatever the case may be, but it gotta be tough for Acosta's going through right now. Cause he's close, he's nipping at the podium. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I mean, the last one he got 2nd place with. So, I mean, they've been constantly making upgrades and constantly putting that package together. They've been doing it for a while. Not to say it's due, but it takes time to develop a bike, the power, the traction, the electronics, the geometry of it, the putting all that stuff together, getting a rider on there that can really push the limits without breaking the bike or without crashing. So I mean, it's really good that you got Pedro Costa getting second, and then besides Aldeguer getting the win, they've been making a lot of progress, and mostly with that KTM power that a couple of years ago people said that Ducati couldn't handle, couldn't manage. Now KTM, once they've been doing their homework to actually be able to put that power down eloquently and be able to manage that power, and doesn't take them 3 or 4 or 5 seasons to have that same power, but to get everything else in line, I think they're going to be really good in the next year. Even though, like I said, we're going to 880. That's another stupid story. We won't go down that rabbit hole, but I mean, they're making strides, and if they can keep everything together, they're pretty good right about now. 11th and was 11th and 15th.
In the championship,
11th and 16th, 11th and 16th.
Yeah.
So I mean, not too bad, but they could have done a little bit better. But like I said, rider mistakes, crash 11th, you crashed again. It's like you gotta be consistent to develop more. Right. And if they can do that, then I think they'll be all right.
I agree, Smitty. It looks like KTM is struggling with grip in the later stages of races. That's where they seem to kind of struggle. In the beginning of the races, they seem like they can push, but it seems like it's grip, whether rear grip. It looked like the crashes that Pedro have, it is like usually low side, so corner and grip. They got all that power, but they're still kind of struggling. I mean, it's probably something very simple, or maybe it's too much power, and they haven't figured out how to control that power, and it's just eating up the tires. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. So I'm no engineer, but I think having too much power, it's easy to tune it down than is to have too little power and try to find more. So I don't think that's the problem, honestly. Okay. But in terms of the KTM and the struggles for I don't know. But to piggyback on what you just said, Pedro has been running in the top 3 here and there and crashed, or number 1 in practice, and just couldn't keep that same pace throughout the race. But it sucks that he's always so close. And I guess in his mind, I'm still young and I'm losing to guys like Marc Marquez and Alex Marquez and veterans. That's an easy pill to swallow. But losing to Ferdinand Aldeguer, a rookie, that'll eat me up bad. Honestly, I'll be pissed if I was Pedro. But that's like, why is he doing it as a rookie and this is year 2 and you ain't do it yet?
Right, and he came in like a superstar. Aldeguer didn't.
Right,
like Acosta was, Moto 3, Moto 2 coming in like he was the business. So
he was the next Rossi Marquez, supposedly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree, and that didn't happen. So that and he's not, and Aldeguer is on a satellite team. Not even, I mean, he has a factory contract, but he's still on a satellite 24 bike. So it has to burn for sure. Yeah. Shakes, man. You're an engineer.
What tires do KTM use?
The same tires as the rest of the grid.
And what tire brand is that?
What is it? Michelin's? They're on Michelin's or Bridgestone's?
Okay. Well, Pirelli has a thing that says, what is power without control? Change the tires then.
Yeah, I think they're on Michelin's. I gotta hang on. Let me bring the guys in. Somebody might know. What are they on?
They're on Michelin's.
Yeah, so
you gotta change the tire. And I agree with what Smitty said. Hey, listen, it's always, you can control power, you can't find it. And I believe if Bender wasn't throwing the bike in the gravel every week, it seemed like for the whole season, the bike's in the gravel. So it's a yard sale. I actually went to MotoGP once, and after a Bender crash, I was able to get a fresh pair of boots for cheap. It's a yard sale, right? Shit everywhere, right? Gloves, helmet, boots, cups. It's crazy. It's crazy. My buddy at the last race, my buddy got a racing helmet for like $3. It's crazy. That inconsistency, it troubles the team, and then it puts more pressure on the lead guy, right? Yeah, we do know you put on the suit by yourself, you get on the bike by yourself, but you also need your team. Don't smoke. You need your team to get you across the finish line, right? It's like the Africans when they're running the marathon. Those 5 guys, those are just the pace guys. They're just there to break your will because they know the top guy is going to take it home. And that's how racing is, right? It's a tandem. I help you push, you help me push, but you got to keep the bike upright because those points add up as the season progresses. So now when you look back and your teammate's throwing the bike and is having a yard sale every week, puts a lot of pressure on you, takes you out of your game a little bit. And I think that was a problem with KTM. I think that the whole team dynamic could have been a lot better. I get it with the bankruptcy, non-bankruptcy, Lewis Hamilton, no Lewis Hamilton. BlackRock is going to give them $2 trillion. They're buying Bitcoin now. All the rumors that could have kept KTM afloat. I get it. There's a lot going on in the paddock. But if we're going to be consistent on the show, one man on the bike, one man on the grid, one man on the podium. Let's go.
All right. No team order. I like it. Let's move over to, unless somebody else has something to say in MotoGP, let's move over to World Superbike. As you guys know.
Congrats to the rookie on his first win. That's all.
This is dope. He's going to have many more to come because that boy fast.
Yeah. Smitty, you're a man of principle and you're a gentleman.
I try.
No, and I agree with Shakes. I mean, Binder the last couple of races has barely even broke 10th, 12th. He got lucky and got a 4th. I think that was his best outgoing in GP in like 3 years. So I mean, like, dude, come on. Not say it's the best, but if you look at Bastianini, the Beast was supposed to be, right along with, up front, and he's crashing 11th, no podium, no nothing. So it's kind of like, I don't know.
Right.
Hopefully they can get their stuff together.
It is Bastianini's first year on a KTM, so I mean, I think he gets a little pass, but they're doing really well. Him and Maverick are doing really well for being first year guys on the bike. Same thing with Bez, because usually we see a bigger struggle, and we're not seeing that. But let's talk about Top Rock coming to MotoGP. As you guys know, what are your thoughts on that? Is he gonna be someone that might be in the top 5 in the first year? Or you think he's going to hang out around 12 and for the season just to get his feet wet? We start with Smitty.
I say he'll be probably around 10th-ish because coming to GP, as good as he is, it is a whole different ball game. Like, people think it's motorcycle, 2 wheels, throttle, brakes the same. No, it's just like driving a sports car versus a truck. It's not the same experience at all. And going by what Ben Spies said about his experience, that bike is so stiff. It's like riding a freaking, just a plain piece of steel with, it has wheels on it. And the adjustment is very difficult. And you rarely ever see it happen now that guys come from, World Superbike and do well. It just doesn't happen like that anymore. This is no longer the days of Nicky Hayden and Ben Spies and Colin Edwards doing it. This is a different type of bike, and I don't see him doing well. As talented as he is, I don't see it.
Don't tell Gonzalez that in Moto 2. I mean, he might get to MotoGP.
I mean, true.
Kind of the same.
Moto 2. That's not World Superbike.
Right. Same sport.
Yeah, but he came from World Supersport.
Okay, true.
So different setup. He came from 300 Supersport, then he came into
different bike setup.
World Supersport, and then he came over to the stiff chassis of Moto 2, and he's fighting for the championship. So, Jake Dixon came over from Supersport as well, and, Jake has yet to fight for a championship like how Gonzalez is doing this, and I believe it's Gonzalez's second year. Just to say he's one of the few, he's really the only one that's been able to do it and maybe get to MotoGP. So, but you're right. normally there's not a lot of riders that has been able to do it. And if they come into MotoGP, they might win a race in their career.
Right.
They might get on their podium, but they don't have the same dominance. That they haven't had the same dominance. Obviously, some riders have that you mentioned. But I'm thinking, Cal and some of these guys that just, they won races and they were very competitive, but we see the difference. And, so yeah, you're right about that. What are your thoughts, Jordan?
I'm glad you came to me because I do kind of agree with Smitty. He'll be in the top 10, but I'm thinking it's going to be for a different reason. Tires. He's so used to having the Pirellis. He's been doing great with Pirellis, with the Yamaha and the BMW. Now he's going to Michelin's, not just because of the bike, because of the tires.
I think they're switching to Pirelli this year, no?
Well, they're supposed to be. I'm not going to go to the tires because everybody needs to switch tires. Oh my gosh. Moto America needs to switch to Pirellis. I swear I'm not going to go there. But I think they're supposed to be switching out tires also. But hopefully they do. Hopefully the tire war needs to come back. I think we said that on like one of the first interviews me and you had. It's just like there needs to be a tire war. I want a tire war back because
Yep. No, you're right.
Because
it's Michelin next year, Pirelli 2027.
So I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve for him, not because of the machinery. Yeah, World Superbike has some top tier electronics that kind of accompany with MotoGP, not really Moto2, Moto3, but kind of with MotoGP. But there's still some learning curves that he's going to have to do. He's know how to do that. You give it to him, let him ride the bike 30, 40, maybe 50 laps. He's going to tell you, hey, this needs to change, that needs to change. I'm good here. I'm not good there. Fix this, fix that. Let me go back out. And I'll show you I can do better. Right. He's that type of rider. Yeah, I mentioned something about Matt Mladen a couple of years ago that he can ride the bike, tell you what you need to do to it so that he can do the lap times he wants to do. You do that, he's doing the lap times he's saying he's going to do. And then sometimes even a tenth or two more. Right. So I'm just kind of like, he has that skill, that talent, that if you give him what he needs, sky's the limit.
Right. And he has a great teammate. Jack Miller is going to be able to teach him a lot as well.
A lot of experience.
Yeah. Bobby Shakes, man, what are your thoughts on...
Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you.
No, go ahead. On Top Rock coming to MotoGP, obviously it's a new market for MotoGP. His fan base is pretty huge in over in the Middle East, and so I got to imagine that's good for it's going to be great, really good for MotoGP.
Hey, listen, man. I used to sit on my couch and watch football, and they do the kickoff, and I would see these idiots drop the kickoff, and I go, I could do that. So I went to an XFL exhibition, and the only position I could play was kick return. Catching that ball off a kicker's foot, it's like trying to catch a razor blade. You have to catch it with all hands, and you got to be a dog. So it looks easy on television till you actually do it. With Top Rack, he's not a poser. As we know, the suspension is tighter, the bike is stiff, it only bends, you got to be on it. And Top Rack is that dog. He's going to be on that bike, and we've seen it. No fear. He's going to use the suspension. I think he's going to, I know the tire, like we say, power not without control. I think he's going to adjust. I think he's a dog. I think he's crazy. I think he's crazy, and I think he's nuts. And the only thing that's going to stop Top Rack is Top Rack. And I know it looks easy, man. When you're watching these guys on MotoGP, it looks easy when you're sitting down drinking a soda. But he's a different guy. I agree with Jordan. He's a different guy. Mm-hmm. So put him in 8th place because Ducati's going to go 1 through 6 again. Gotcha. And then he's going to pull some shit out of his ass. So put him in. That's where we're going to put him.
Smitty, what are your thoughts on Jonathan Rea retiring? At the end of the season, I think there's a couple more rounds. Estoril this weekend. Shout out to Bobby Fong, who's going to be racing this round and next round with the Attack Yamaha team. Wish them the best. What are your thoughts about Johnny Ray? 6-time world title for World Superbike, the most in a row, and the most overall.
He had 3 with Honda, right? Something like that, I think it was.
No.
All Kawasaki.
Kawasaki? Well, he rode on. I forgot, but yeah. Ray is a legend, man. Simple as that. He's the best to ever do it in World Superbike. It's a shame he didn't really get a real shot at riding MotoGP, which sucks also. But, and also what sucks is I hate seeing champions, like great players, and this is all sports. Like, the last couple of years, they're washed up. I hate seeing that, I enjoy seeing guys who are great leaving their prime. Like right. Barry Sanders, retired early. Everybody hated that.
Too early.
It wasn't, man.
Too early.
He left when he wanted to, and he was the best when he left.
Too early.
Instead of being like Emmitt Smith going to the Cardinals and like, well, damn, you get 2 yards of carry. I hate seeing that.
You think Barry Sanders didn't think for one, like maybe I could have played one to stay a little bit longer? You think Casey Stoner didn't go, maybe I should have, obviously he had health reasons.
Maybe not, but
the thing with motorcycle racing, basketball, or any physical sport, you're against Father Time. If you're a musician, you can take time off. If you're an actor or whatever, you can take time off and find your way back. But when you're in your prime, you have to be one with God when you walk away, because we saw Michael Jordan struggled when he came back. Yeah. So you know what I mean?
And I hated seeing Rossi the last 2 years. It just looked like
the Yamaha was bad. It wasn't Rossi.
No, it was him, man.
No, man, the bike was bad. Come on, like Morbidelli was struggling. He was struggling.
But Rossi wasn't even the best Yamaha when he was riding.
The years Rossi got on the podium in 2018, right? And I think he left so the last 3 years that bike was struggling, man. The Yamaha was struggling, and
good, man. And even but let's say the bike was bad. It still looks bad seeing him running in 15th place by himself, Reasons or not, regardless of if it's him or the bike, knowing who he was, it just don't look right seeing him in the back of the pack on that, yellow and blue bike, man, the Patronus bike. It ain't look good,
Yeah, it's tough because I see Venus out there playing now, and I like seeing her play. I'm rooting for her. So I don't know. I get what you're saying. From a fan perspective, you don't want your the people you look up to look normal. Yeah,
it's like seeing Jerry Rice playing for the Seahawks. That was terrible. Randy Moss on the Titans and the Niners was horrible, man. I don't like seeing that.
So I get what you're saying there, for sure. How are you thinking, Jordan? You feel the same way? Walk out on top, or don't stay too long in the party? You don't want to go out with the lights when they shut the lights off at the after party.
Shut the lights out on you, and you're stuck on a dance floor by yourself. Where'd everybody go? I think Johnny had a very good run.
My bad. I'm jacking you up.
Oh, it's all good. Not to say that he tapped out too early or even too late. After his 6th run and, everybody else started catching up to him. Not to say Kawasaki was doing something spectacular. I don't know what they put something in their gas tank or something. But Johnny was just doing a daggone thing. He was just on money every single race, every single time, every lap. And no one could answer that. So once everybody started, getting his number, figuring out whatever he was doing, started catching him every little 10th here and there. And then, Top Rack being Top Rack, he's Top Rack. He's an alien. Right, I don't know if everybody's heard that term before, but he's an alien. Yeah. You've got really nothing for that. Even Bautista got lucky, got a championship, Didn't hold on to it for too longer, but he got a championship out of that.
You got
Next
two.
thing you know, we got another. Well, he wouldn't go back to back though.
They were back to back.
He went 19 and 20. Didn't go 19, 21?
No, he got because it was Top Rock that got it on the Yamaha. Then Batista went back to back, and then Top Rock.
I thought it was Top Rock. Bautista Top Rock again. We'll look at it later on.
Bautista got back to back when Pecco got back to back.
Okay, so I mean, not to say he got lucky. I'm not gonna say that. I'll retract that. But I mean, with that happening, and then Top Rack switching off. I mean, like I said, the whole thing has just been like, either you adjust, whether it's the bike or yourself.
No, it was definitely the bike. I don't know if you caught the video podcast with Ray and Top Rack was on it, and Alex Lowe's was on it, and Alex was saying, I
missed that one.
I'm finishing 10th on a Kawi, and he's finishing on the podium for the win, and I'm sitting here like, we're on the same bike. Like, how is he making this bad bike? Do work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, but I think it's the same thing. Eventually, these guys like Marquez, at some point, the bike becomes too bad for them. Maybe it's just that you don't want to take the same risk. I'm obvious, and he did get hurt with the Yamaha when he switched to Yamaha. So I think for him, that recovery at an older age, as he mentioned, like watching his kids and stuff like that, and he even said this. He's like, there was one time where he crashed, or some crash that he had. I forget which race it was that he crashed, and he's just like, he thought of, not being there for his kids. So all of a sudden he's also thinking, like, I can be hurt. So, once you can't lock in and give 100% in motorcycle racing, like you have to walk away at that point.
And I think that's what it was. And I agree with you. I think that's what it was. It's like, he had the hyperbaric chamber in his house because he wanted to try to heal and recover as fast as he could to get back onto the bike. And then once he got back onto the bike, he still wasn't where he, I guess, wanted to be at and where he expected to be at. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to give him my best. I'm going to give him my best shot because I want to give the best to my fans, to my family, to the sport. He's very sport conscious of World Superbike and everybody in it. So once that happens, it's kind of like, I got to tap out. Right. And that's pretty much what he did. So, I mean, not to say he didn't give 100%. He gave 120% to the sport. And, I wish him best of luck. And hopefully he does a whole bunch of coaching to the Yamaha group. Because I believe that's what he's getting a contract for right about now. Okay. I saw him doing something with the USA Yamaha school here. I don't want to say their name because they're not going to get any monetization from us. So, but he's been doing some coaching with stuff with them. So who knows? We may see him here on the West Coast. I believe he actually has a Airbnb or a house here in California. So I think he tapped out in the perfect time.
Yeah, and he also said he didn't want like Smitty, wanting to see the top guys go out. He wasn't comfortable sitting around 10th or 11th. He's like, if I'm not fighting for the podium, I don't want to be out here.
Time to check out. Exactly.
So there is that as well. Bobby Shakes, man. I know who Jonathan Ray is. Made Kawi a lot of money for sure, because everybody wants a Kawi. 1,000 like the ZX10R. People love that bike. What are your thoughts? I mean, one of the greats walking away from the sport as far as racing.
Just gonna take my hat off to him and his career. My issue with motorcycle racing and car racing is different from basketball and football and everything else. Those are more physical sports, right? So you could heal quicker. Racing, it starts to deteriorate your cognitive. You're just not seeing the track anymore. Like there's just this breakdown, and we're just seeing it. And I think once the cognitive starts to break down, once the brain starts breaking down, the G forces, people don't understand that part of racing is the nasty part about racing, right? When you're seeing Hamilton in the F1 car, it's like he has a disease now. Like he can't you lose it over time more quickly than other sport. And I think once your cognitive starts to go, it's time to go because you're not seeing the game anymore. When we talk about football and basketball, there's only so many things that can happen within that game, right? You've seen all the plays, you know everything, you know the defense, you know the offense, you know everybody's skills have been played for a long time. With motorcycle racing, your nervous system starts to break down. And then when you have these young bloods coming who can see the track, like it's hats off to him in his career. That part of the racing needs to be highlighted more. It's just not getting on a bike and learning how to ride. It's the strength training, the neck training, core training, all that stuff that is crazy. Like I took my son for an ear infection and they said, oh, this is like we're putting you through an F1 balance test, right? Like we don't think about that. The balance in your eardrum, the loud noise, the paddock, all that stuff start to deteriorate. And that's what's sad about that sport, that it happens overnight. Like Michael Jordan, you saw the decline slowly.
Right.
In motorcycle racing, it's like 1:15 overnight. You're like, what the fuck? It's hats off, man. Love you.
And all you need to do is be a couple of tenths off, right? You don't need to be much. Right. And that's the other part. It's like, it's just a little bit. And that then over the course of laps obviously adds up. And it's tough. You're absolutely right. And don't get me wrong, there needs to be like a senior league, like some of these other car racing and stuff like that, or golf tournaments where, some of these guys can still ride. Maybe they're on, prototype, whatever kind of bikes, but it's still, the sport does a pretty good job of celebrating the champions, but it can, I think that people would sign up to go watch that.
A senior world superbike.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at they got the seniors TT, right?
TT.
Yeah. So, they're not slow just because it's called senior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and at least some of these guys can ride around the age, so everybody will be kind of at the same speed, so to speak, right? And still, you get to still see these. Like, it'd be nice to see Casey race, right? I don't know if he'd want to, but it'd be nice to see him race and some of these other guys, come out and race.
That's a business pitch to Dubai. Dubai, we just pitched you something. I heard that Tom Brady's playing flag football in Dubai for about $1 trillion. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe we could pitch Dubai to have a seniors cup.
No, honestly, what I want to see, like a 4-round exhibition race between our top 10 riders in the States versus the top 10 BSB riders.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
like a World Cup.
2 rounds in the States, 2 rounds in the UK. I would love to see that one day.
Yeah, I remember Bradley Smith is still here.
Yeah.
But no, that like a World Cup would be cool. 2 riders, and then there's just the states, the countries that are pushing the riders forward. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, the Spaniards and Italians might win it all for the first few years, but
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Mm-hmm. I don't think so either. Bradley's still here in the West Coast. So, I mean, we can make that happen.
Right,
a couple of phone calls.
All right.
Gotta call Wayne Rainey, man. Make it happen, man.
Yeah, for real.
There you go.
Get the proposal together and send it off to Dubai. Let's get this thing cracking.
All right. Yeah. Well, just like Wednesday, the Vroom show is coming to a close for tonight, and it's nice to have you guys back on and chopping it up and hearing your point of views in MotoGP and World Superbike, and we'll start the Senior World Cup of motorcycle racing.
I'm a senior.
My name is Rex45. We got Smitty from Smith Shot Racing. We got Jordan Long in the building from Jordan Long Racing. We got Bobby Shakes, the one and only. He's everywhere doing everything. Peace.
Adios.